rolling,
Okay.
action, both.
And what drives you to want to travel the world? Where does it come from? The urge to meet different people and to
Yeah, the objective is, I've been traveling all over the world from past so many years for my business and for my vacations. But when you travel by air, you see only few places, and you can't see the real country. To see the real country, if you travel by road, right from one border and exit to another border, so that gives you the real feel of that country. And our objective is to meet people. My objective is not to see the museum or the other places, interesting places. Yes, definitely when we travel, we go there and we watch them as well. But my main objective for this travel was to meet people and to understand their culture, their food, the similarity between us and them, and a very important thing which I am totally against this border systems. And the first in my life, I crossed only three borders, land borders, before this trip, a long time back, when I was in the U.S. So I traveled from Los Angeles to Mexico, and when I was in the East Coast side, so I traveled to Niagara Falls, Toronto, and once I traveled from Seattle to Vancouver. So these three borders, land border, I have crossed. When I crossed those borders, so I used to always think, what is the difference? The same air, the same sun, the same water is flowing, and there is no difference. So why these borders are? And that was a kind of, the curiosity I had in my mind. And I wanted to see the Europe without the borders, without the boundaries of those borders. And when I entered here, and I was so much amazed, the first border when we crossed within Europe, that was from from Estonia to Latvia. And when we crossed, there was no border, only there was one sign. And yeah, especially from Latvia to Lithuania, yes, that I remember. Latvia to Lithuania, when we went, and I was looking at the GPS where I'm going to see the border. And suddenly we crossed it, and then I took a U-turn, and I stand there and looking, there's one board, says Latvia, there's one pole. Another side of the road, there's another board, says Lithuania, and there's a pole. And there was a small flag that was on the pole. And that's the border.
and it was an encouraging thing for you
It's
to
very
see.
and there was no check post, there was nothing, and this was so encouraging. And when we went to Stockholm, it was on the ship, so they just saw our passport and they said, "You go." So there's no border. So I wish one day the whole world would be without any border. There will be one world.
And maybe you'll experience that if you travel abroad, that the people have more in common than they have differences.
Yep, I feel that there's no difference. The only difference which you see one country to another country is food, language. That's it. We wear the same clothes. Leave aside the traditional clothes. How many people wear the traditional clothes of any particular country, and only on the occasions? Normally we wear jeans, we wear t-shirt, we wear shirts. So all over the world, people wear the same clothes. The difference is in the food habits and their language. And that's not in one country to another country. In our country, we have got so many languages. India is a very diversified country, so we got to see so many different languages and so many different foods in India.
So, which is like a micro example of how the whole world works. There are some minor differences in appearances,
Yeah.
or not even appearances, but in the food we eat. But in the essence,
We are same.
we're all kind of the
Yeah,
same.
the same. When we are hurt, we cry. When we are happy, we laugh. What's the difference? The emotions are same. There is no difference in emotion.